Yeah, there we go. Finally, what is going on? Lee Sanders checking out an all new the RCWR show coming at you all live this Tuesday night of May the 8th, 2018. We are a couple of minutes removed from SmackDown. I do humbly apologize for you that have been waiting patiently. Last minute hiccups. I was ready to go, had the streams, all that ready to go. And then the software I usually use to record the shows, I was noticing like automatically it was doing this silly thing where it was automatically decreasing the recording volume. Very weird, right? Yes, I'm just talking like I'm normally talking right now, this level, this loud that I'm talking right now. And for some weird reason, first time ever, as long as I've been using my recording software here on the desktop, used it for years now, done my updates, all that. Maybe it's time for another update. I don't really know. But for some weird reason, every time I talked, the recording volume got lower, 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 and lower. And I'm like, what the hell? So I'm gonna have to figure that out once the show is over. But technical stuff, right? I know who cares about that, right? But I'm just letting you guys know what the hell was going on with me. Do appreciate you guys tuning in right now. However, you're checking out this episode, as we're gonna be live for the next little bit. Take your pick. I am live right now on youtube.com/the RCWR show. We got a chat open over there. Also live right now on Spreaker. Also live via the RCWR Show app. Yes, in case you missed that news, now we have our own show app available for downloads in the Google Play Store. And did I mention? I know I did, but I just love saying it's free. How can you beat free? Do appreciate those of you that had taken the time out to review the app. By the way, you guys are letting me know how much you love it. Check it out. It's really awesome. And then we're also streaming live on Facebook. So hello to the Facebook audience, as still I am continuing to have issues connecting to Facebook via my desktop. I'm not sure what the hell is going on. I can pull up my camera for Skype on my desktop. I can pull up my camera for Google Hangouts and YouTube. I can pull it up on every other thing. But for some weird reason, 2 consecutive weeks now, Facebook, what's going on, man? Hook a brother up. What's going on? I need to know the deal. You know, well, you got something against me or I don't get it. It ain't working on desktop, but I can pull it up on the phone without any problem. So I'm not really sure what the hell is going on with that. So any fellow colleague that maybe had recently experienced the same issue, you want to give me some troubleshooting advice, you're more than welcome to give me something. It's something maybe I haven't even thought of yet, but I do appreciate it. Good week so far. Hope you guys have been pretty good. I know we got Mother's Day dropping this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So to all of you beautiful, fine looking mamas out there, happy Mother's Day to you all. And fellas, I do hope y'all have some really good plans for your moms this weekend. I hope you're going to be celebrating and taking them on out to IHOP. I don't care for Denny's, to each its own, but I've never been a fan of Denny's. I'm not a fan of Cracker Barrel, but I know that's something that's been picking up a lot of momentum over the years. However you're doing it this weekend, I hope you guys are going to be doing it in style and treat your moms really awesome on that cool day. I mean, every day should be Mother's Day, right? You should always appreciate your mom, but for sure on this special day dedicated to moms, you definitely need to represent. And nothing I love more than Mother's Day weekend, where we have families that are taking their moms out for brunch, or maybe they're coming out as soon as church is over. There's nothing I like seeing more than a family treating their mom after church or whatever, and they're just eating out. I think that's really cool. It's just, it makes me sometimes get a little warm, a little fuzzy, a little melancholy at the same time to a certain degree. But yeah, man, good stuff, good stuff. So my weekend, pretty good. I tell you what wasn't good. Well, actually, we'll talk about what wasn't good in a hot second. But probably for me, in case you guys had missed it, I actually did a special live edition of the RCWR show on YouTube. And if you didn't check it out yet, check it out, especially if you're into the rock, hard rock, metal, all that good stuff. I actually had reviewed the new Alice in Chains single, the one you know. There's actually a really cool music video for it as well. And the single is just badass. I am eagerly anticipating when this single is going to drop. And I got to tell you, I'm not tooting my own horn here. Okay. Trust me, if I feel my shit is stanking, I am one of the first to go. That just wasn't good. And honestly, I'm like this. If I'm recording something or whatever, if I feel it's not worth the quality, if it's not worth the time and energy to release, if I feel that way, then if it doesn't get past me, it ain't no way in hell you guys are going to be hearing it. But not to toot my own horn, not to pat myself on the back, but I have to tell you, maybe me of one of, I would say there was probably just a handful of people that had reviewed the new Alice in Chains single, the one you know. And nothing was more refreshing than to see me and possibly two other people that were legit Alice in Chains fans, have all the albums, been following their music, that took the time out of our schedules, out of our lives to say, okay, look, this is what we liked about the single. Here's what's working. Here's what's not. There was only at least three of us that I recall. There was a bunch of people. There were a bunch of people that basically, well, this person's doing this. Let me do that. And it was so interesting seeing people legitimately do a review saying they never heard of the band. They saw that other people were talking about it and they just figured they'd go check it out. You had people that weren't familiar with the band, almost kind of the same thing I just said, but you had people that weren't familiar with the band, weren't familiar with the original lead singer, all that, and was just like, I just wanted to review this single. And I'm saying to myself, that how is this really beneficial? How is this really helping those that have been followers of Alice in Chains? How is this really helping somebody that is maybe looking for new music and you are that go-to source and you're sounding as uneducated as I don't know what, and you're expecting to build some type of a following off of this as a result? It's mind-blowing how people are just coming on social media nowadays and they're not doing their homework at least before they get ready to talk about something. So I got to say, it was really refreshing to be in a position where me and just a couple of other people that were legit fans, and I definitely represented. I had my Alice in Chains shirt and everything. My God, I've been pushing that Alice in Chains shirt. I don't know how long now. My girl will probably tell you I've probably had that shirt since we first started dating. If not, maybe shortly after that, I've had that shirt for that long. So I think at this point, I've probably been pushing that shirt now for at least maybe 5 years. I'm definitely due for an upgrade. But yeah, nothing was more refreshing than to see a couple of people other than myself that were legit fans actually take the time out, the energy, the enthusiasm to talk about the single. And it's a great single. I can't wait for the actual album. So check that out when you guys get the opportunity. So we've got another NBA game that is getting ready to come on. And the way it's looking right now, the Houston Rockets, they have defeated oh God, it's on the tip of my tongue. They've defeated the Utah Jazz. They took care of their business. So 4-1, that is it for Utah. Utah has been sent home packing. I am not sure of the final score right now because I was getting ready to do the game, to do the stream here for you guys. But I got the second game on right now that should be starting shortly. I think tip-off is maybe 10:30. Yeah, so they got about 5 minutes to go. The next game, we've got the Pelicans taking on the Golden State Warriors. Warriors right now, they've got that series 3-1. So tonight could be it. Couple of slobber knockers. I'll keep you guys posted on it throughout the night, though. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, wait a minute. What do you mean you guys can't hear me? Gino, what do you mean you can't hear me? Oh, great. Wait a minute now. What do you guys mean you can't hear me? Wait a minute. This is what I'm talking about. Sound. What are you guys talking about? I got somebody saying they can't hear me. Can you guys hear me okay? Facebook, Spreaker, can you guys hear me? See something here. Okay, I can hear myself on that platform pretty good. Wait a minute here. Let's see. And then we got that streaming. We got that. Gino, it might just be you, man. Let me see something here. And then let me switch over. Gino, that's you. That's Gino, that's you, man. If you can't hear, you need to try that again. I don't know what's going on there, Gino. It's like somebody say they can't hear. I think it's the audio problems at your end. I'm gonna say for those of you that is watching the stream on YouTube, if you can't hear me, you may want to try refreshing the feed. But I'm gonna actually say hello in the chat here on YouTube. Yeah, Steven, what the hell? Austie, what the hell? Gino, I ain't do nothing weird with the audio setup, man. You need to hit refresh or something, man. Let me find out Gino's hey Gino, let me find out maybe you just didn't pay T-Mobile and I don't know. I'm picking on you, Gino. I love you, man. Gino always represents the RCWR show. I love Gino. Nah, we're good. We're good, Gino. I don't know what's going on, man. You might want to try to close out the stream. Yeah, Maurice can hear. Yeah, Gino. Guys, do me a favor because I can't really type because I got everything in here. It's not written down what I want to talk about tonight. So do me a favor, you guys in the YouTube chat. Just let Gino know to refresh his browser, close out the browser and open it back up. And maybe that can like solve his problem that way. But no, I mean, other than that, I'll tell you what was kind of bad this weekend. That Backlash pay-per-view event. I told you guys I would come back in a couple of days. And I said, maybe my opinion will change about the Backlash pay-per-view event. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because I know at the time that I was doing the Backlash after show, and I do appreciate you guys that had checked out that Backlash after show that we did. That was actually a lot of fun. I thought it was going to be a lot shorter. I don't know how we got almost up to 90 minutes, but somehow we did. Maybe I was just in one of those talking moods. It happens. But you know, I said to you guys, if I'm not mistaken, I rated Backlash a 5.5 out of 10. And for some people, I might have been a little bit too gracious because I heard some of my other colleagues out there, and I interacted with a couple of more you guys throughout social media, forums, and all that. And a lot of you guys were like, nah, man, this joint gets a 3. No, I'm going to give it a 4. I mean, you guys were just, I think you guys were like, Lee, you're being too kind because this is how we feel. And, you know, I still feel the same way that I did on Sunday. I still feel that Backlash pay-per-view event overall, I'm being very gracious and I'm going to stay firm. I'm not going to wiggle. When I give a rating, very rare. I try to make it be extremely rare that I change the rating, but I'm still going to stay at a 5.5 out of 10. That thing was barely passable. I will go on record and I will say, make no mistake about it, I do personally feel that for this calendar year of 2018 so far, that this was probably the poorest execution of a WWE pay-per-view that the company has done thus far. I will definitely jump out there. Okay, this was, you know, honestly, when I look at this pay-per-view overall, top to bottom, I mean, just close your eyes for a minute. Picture, if you will, WWE for the first time in years. Okay, we're going to have Raw. We're going to have SmackDown. They're going to join forces. They're going to combine. We're going to have our first ever co-branded pay-per-view event. It's the first of many to come on a yearly basis, right? And you're going, all right, this sounds really good. Okay, I am all in. I am game. But when you look at what we had got on Sunday, the finishes to some of these matches just left you kind of scratching your head going, what the hell? And, you know, I love how unanimous we all are in our voices collective as one when we all are saying the same thing, which is, I mean, you take your pick, whether you are a occasional fan or you're a hardcore WWE fan or you're a podcaster, everybody was saying the same thing. Hey, the pre-show, great. Miz and Seth Rollins, great. Some of the matches after that, yeah, it was okay. Once you get to Nakamura, AJ Styles, great match. What the hell was up with that finish, though? And then you go to this situation where you close out the night with Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe. Now, you can easily see what I had said on Twitter once it was like revealed to all of us who was going to be closing out the pay-per-view event. And I basically said, oh, okay, so Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe is closing out the pay-per-view. Oh, yeah, that'll get Roman Reigns over. And I said when I was offering match predictions, yeah, Roman Reigns, he's lost at the 2 past consecutive pay-per-views now. No, he needs this. He needs this W tonight, okay? And if you are an anti-Roman Reigns fan, you're probably go, huh? But I think what probably had got overshadowed tremendously was the fact that Samoa Joe was closing out a pay-per-view. If not a first, definitely, a rarity, kind of like getting a special treat. So I thought if you're a fan of Samoa Joe, this was quite refreshing to see how he was going to handle himself closing out the show. And he really had brought it. I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, and I'm standing strong with it, and I'm not wavering. 2018 for Samoa Joe is going to be a really great year now that he's over on the SmackDown side of things. And I told you guys, I said it, I want to say, if not last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I'll go on record and I will say it again. I have the strongest impression that before 2018 is out, Samoa Joe will become the WWE champion. That will go down. I mean, he has just been doing phenomenal work since NXT, but definitely he's been doing superb work since he's got the call up to the main roster. It doesn't really surprise me. Well, let me back up a second. Let me back up a second. It does okay. I'm not surprised, but I am surprised. And I know some of you guys hear that. You say, wait a minute, Lee, you can't have it both ways. Which one is it now? Come on. What's the 411? Why are you going both ways? Here's how it is. With what we saw of Samoa Joe down in NXT, it seemed as though Samoa Joe came into the WWE revigorated. It seemed as though he came into the WWE like a man on a mission. Okay. And just when you think, okay, well, yeah, he's tearing it up in NXT, that's all fine and dandy, but sooner or later, that's going to kind of die down a little bit. Sooner or later, we're going to get the old Samoa Joe during his last couple of years in Impact Wrestling that's just basically winging it out, right? And whatever, we're just whatever. But no, ever since he came into NXT, and then he got the call up to the main roster, he has been consistent, if not been getting better and better. And shout out to Austin in the chat. Yeah, Gino, we know it was your computer, man. It's all good. You know what I'm talking about, man. We know it was you. But no, like what Austin is saying here, shout out to Austin in the chat. It's actually Samoa Joe's 3rd time closing out a WWE pay-per-view. So this was a rare treat that we can all be in agreement with regards to Samoa Joe. So to see him in this position where it's a rarity, hey, Catherine, where it's a rarity, he's closing out the pay-per-views. I mean, you can't help but be ecstatic if you're a Samoa Joe fan. Bump the fact that Roman Reigns is once again in a position. Oh God, Roman Reigns. Oh, why? What did we do to be tortured by Roman Reigns? That's how legitimately there are you guys out there that are literally crying because Roman Reigns is closing out these pay-per-views. But if you flip the script and you're a Samoa Joe fan, and I've really yet to come across anybody that's not a Samoa Joe fan since he's been doing his thing in WWE, you're saying, wow, all right, Joe, all right, go out there, Joe. And for Joe, he did really good. He did superbly well. But look, I think we can all be in agreement. These WWE pay-per-views, and something that I did not highlight when we were talking about the Backlash after show, and that's because I had, it might have been 2 of these, but when you mix this with melatonin, you feel pretty damn good. So I pretty much was halfway out of it. So how I got through the Backlash after show, I have no idea, because I wake up the next day, I'm going, I did a show, right? And I couldn't remember half the stuff I had said. Legit. That's the melatonin for you. We're working in there. But no, one thing that I meant to talk about on the Backlash after show that I'm glad we're talking about and addressing here tonight, the droves of people that left out during Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, the droves of people that continue to leave and just euphoria. I mean, just unanimously, once they saw Roman Reigns win. It was like 1, 2, 3, run for the hills. That was pretty much how it was. And look, man, if I'm the WWE, I get it. I get that you want to be taken as a sports entertainment company, a sports/entertainment company. I get that. I get that tremendously. Okay. You want to be right up there with the NFL. You want to be right up there with the NBA, the soccer, all that. To the point, WWE will have you believe, based on their own touting from Monday Night Raw, that their Backlash event was the most talked about, socialized event all throughout social media. They've had the numbers. They were beating out the NBA. They were beating out World Soccer. They were beating out hockey. They were beating out your mom, who had won bingo. She won a jackpot of $5,000 at the church this past weekend, right? It beat her. It beat the guy that had found out his daughter is going to be having twins and he's going to be a grandpa for the first time, right? ×2, right? It beat all of these other things going on, all right? It beat the guy that found out that he no longer has type 2 diabetes and now he can go and continue to eat ice cream and apple pie and Suzy Q's and ding dongs and all that other silly crap, right? Right? It beat the guy that lost his virginity for the very first time and he is just ecstatic about it. Like, it's better than that. WWE will have you believe all of these things. Alternative facts, right? Alternative facts. The truth of the matter is, this pay-per-view was talked about for all the wrong reasons, right? We can agree with that, right? It was talked about for all of the wrong reasons, because of the finishes, because of the lame as, some parts you had some questionable things that was going on in the ring that made you go, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, storyline wise, booking wise, that doesn't make any sense. What the hell? To the finishes, etc. And I know a lot of people want to ride off of the fact that, oh, well, this person had wrote this, and this person apparently was the one that booked this match. In case you didn't hear about it, somebody of the production team, they had like a sheet, and it had the order in which the matches were going to be happening throughout the night for Backlash. And sure enough, this image, I don't know if maybe this person did it on purpose or they were just that naive. They were that silly and they just left it out in the open or whatever. But snap, 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 share on social media, and it spread it like wildfire. And aside from these matches, you also had Saul, who is in charge of putting the matches together. Look, man, for me, regardless of who put what matches together, regardless, what I care about at the end of the day is what I'm seeing before my very eyes in the middle of the ring. I don't care if it's Michael P.S. Hayes. I don't care if it's Road Dogg. I don't care if it's Vince McMahon. I don't care if it's Paul Levesque. I don't care if it's freaking Freddie Blassie. I don't care if it's Vince Russo. I don't care who it is, unlike some of you guys out there. For me, what I care about the most, am I entertained? The match that I'm watching, does it have high replay value to the point I'm going to go out of my way to watch it again? Those are the elements that I care about the most. And if I can just check off all of that, if I can check off, hey, great ring psychology, if I can check all those little boxes off, then I will be like, okay, I'm satisfied. Great match. I don't care who's in charge. I really don't. Right? To the point, and this is how consistent I am. Boys and girls, have you ever seen me, unlike some of my colleagues, have you ever seen me come on here and say they need to fire Road Dogg or they need to fire Michael P.S. Hayes? Have you ever heard me say any of those things? Never, not once. Even when it was revealed that Vince Russo was behind the last rodeo round with Impact Wrestling, and they were going to him for consultation, and they basically told him, hey, don't say anything because it's taboo, and the Spike TV executives, if they hear this, ooh, daddy, we're going to be in some serious trouble. Yeah, bro, no problem, bro. I totally get it, bro. I got you. Come on, man. Come on. It's me, Russo. You can trust me. It's okay. And we saw how that played out. Yeah. So even when it was revealed Russo was behind some of that last stuff that was going on when Impact Wrestling was still on Spike TV, you didn't hear me. You didn't see me come on here and say, goddamn Vince Russo, I want his head on a pike now. You didn't see me do all that crap. My whole thing was, okay, they're working with Russo again. Well, you know what? Let me see what's happening in the ring. Let me see what's happening with the writing, and then I will judge from there. And that's pretty much the whole gist of it. But no, what we got Sunday night was the drizzles. I've seen better efforts from the WWE. I mean, this is almost right up there. I had to really think about it as far as in recent memory. This is almost right up there with the inaugural Battleground pay-per-view event. And how many years has it been now since the very first Battleground, guys? It feels like the first Battleground was maybe 2000, feels like 2015. Can you guys check in the chat for me? It feels like the first Battleground was in 2015. I'd be surprised if it was 14. I mean, that's just amazing how time flies. But it almost kind of, it's almost kind of right at that level to a degree, except Battleground beat out Backlash, this year's Backlash, by a good margin. But it feels like it's almost up there. Wow. Thank you, Austin. The first Battleground was 2013. Whew. Man, time flies. I've been doing this show since 2011. And to hear that the first Battleground was in 2013, and I vividly remember, see, I may have the dates wrong. I'm not like some of you guys. Sometimes, you know, once in a while, you know, I will definitely go online and I try to be as spontaneous. I try to make sure that when I do these shows, it's not rehearsed. And I rely heavily on you guys to correct me as far as dates and all that. I may not know dates, but I can tell you stories about, oh yeah, I remember when that had came about. Good example. And I'm not going to bore you all, but I remember when the very first Battleground pay-per-view came about. I remember being on the fence about the event because there was some serious competition going on at the time, I remember. And long story short, WWE had selected a select few of random people via social media to watch the Battleground event for free. They gave them like a unique code or whatever so that they could watch it on the WWE website and enjoy it on the house, courtesy of WWE. And WWE had actually sent me a direct message, a private message, and they were saying, hey, congrats you. And I'm like, what the hell? And whoever was in charge of the social media platform back then, I'm like, wow, this is cool. Like, okay, so what do I do to, you know, and they were pretty friendly. They're like, okay, this is all you got to do. And, you know, if you have any issues, let us know. But this is pretty much it. This is all you got to do. And I just remember going, wow, cool. So, stuff like that I can remember. Might not be so good with dates like I used to be. That's because I'm getting up there in age. But other than that, I mean, I can definitely recall like key moments. And that was probably one of the coolest moments that had happened. And we were still pretty young as far as doing the show. I mean, at that point, we had barely 2 years under the belt. We were doing it since 2011. We barely had 2 years under the belt. But the other thing with Backlash going forward, I got a little sidetracked, but we're connecting the dots. We're bringing it back home, which is I get that WWE wants to be this sports entertainment company. They want to compete with the NBA. They want to compete with World Soccer, the NFL, all this good stuff, right? But see, here's the thing. By the time you, me, everybody else gets done watching the NFL, watching football, whatever it is that comes on, right? By the time we get done with all that, you know what we're doing? We're in the comfort of our own home. We're on the sofa, right? Or we're in the bed, or we're in our recliner, and we go, oh, well, that was pretty good. Flip. And the next thing you know, we're watching the news. We're getting ready for bed. That's pretty much it. And this is a Sunday night, right? Don't let it be NFL weekend. You know how that is. You know how that is, okay? To the point, WWE needs to stop having these pay-per-views go as long as they are going. I am all fine with the pre-shows. I am all fine with some dark matches sprinkled in there. I'm down with all that. But on a Sunday night, for those people that are live in attendance, some of those people have to go to school in the morning. Some of those people have to go to work in the morning. That's not fair to them. That is a disservice. Some of those people have to rely on public transportation to at least get them to and from. Okay, so unless it's going to be a situation where public transportation and all that is extended. Let me tell you something, like a good example out here in the DMV, and some of you guys can definitely back me up on this that are DMV residents. I don't know what it is with Muriel Bowser, the DC mayor, but man, she is hell bent. There have been many times where DC United has played, Redskins have played, or whatever, and it's like, oh, no. No. We're going to close the metro, bus, and rail at the regular time. What about all these people that went to go see this game? What the hell? Uber, Lyft, they'll be all right. Only when there's a situation like, okay, Wizards, they're going into the playoffs, or hey, the Washington Capitals, all right, they're moving on. They're going into the finals. Only when it's like of that magnitude, it doesn't matter how good the record is for the teams out here in the DMV, unless you're talking, playoffs, semifinals, finals, they ain't showing no love as far as public transportation and all that goes. And it's sad. It's quite sad. So I doubt that WWE has enough stroke like that, depending on the city, the state that they're in, to be able to make accommodations where, hey, okay, Metro's been extended for people. I don't think they have it like that, not with everybody. So when it's all said and done, these pay-per-views that really began at 7:00, because you could be getting a pre-show matchup by 7:15, by 7:20, or whatever. For sure, by 7:30, you're going to get some type of a pre-show matchup, right? So really, you got to be there like 7:00, having your seats, because you don't know what the heck is going to happen. So that's 7. Then you got 8. Then you got the 9:00 hour. Then you got the 10:00 hour. And now you're pushing on up to the 11:00 hour. That's asking a lot for those that are in attendance. I personally feel it's easy for those that's watching at home to be able to flip the channels and say, I'm just going to see what else is on, because I'm not really feeling what's going on. But for those people in attendance, that's just wrong. And yeah, I'm telling you, this is going to continue to be a trend if WWE doesn't nip this in the bud. There is no reason why, if you got everything kicking off at 7 p.m., there's no reason why come almost 11:30 at night on a Sunday going into Monday morning, you should still be doing a live event. I'm sorry, there's just not. You should be done by 10 p.m. Eastern tops and keep it moving along. That's just my wishful thinking. But I tell you what, it's going to be an interesting tale to see in the next coming months if what we saw with the Backlash event continues to be a trend where people are leaving out in droves, regardless of who's closing out the pay-per-view event, regardless if it's a championship match or not. I think it's going to be an interesting tale to see if people are going to continue to leave in droves because, okay, this is really pushing it. This is really pushing past the cutoff time. Man, I got work. My God, the kids got school. What the hell? So I'm curious to see how all this is going to be playing now. I'd like to know what you guys think. If you think that what we saw with Backlash, how it was just you couldn't deny seeing it. And if this is going to continue to be a trend where more and more people are just going to be like, okay, you know what, I'm done with this. But I still feel the same way I do with regards to Backlash. Want to thank those of you that's checking out the show right now. Lee Sanders here. We're live for the next little bit. You are checking out episode number 594 of the RCWR show, man. We got 6 more episodes to go until our 600th episode. Can't wait for that. NBA action right now. We've got the Warriors. They have a 3-point lead right now. 19-16 against the Pelicans. It's about 5 minutes, 10 seconds in the first quarter there. So continue to keep you guys posted on the game as we get it here. So, one other thing that was very interesting from this past weekend, and I got to give a shout out to my buddies, my amigos. Got to give a shout out to my good friends over at Wrestling Soup. My good buddy Anthony Missionary Thomas and Joey Numbers. Joey Numbers getting into it with WWE superstar Baron Corbin. Woo, daddy. And let me tell you something, man. If you had missed the tweets, I mean, Baron Corbin was just on this all-out full social media blitz. He was taking on podcasters. He was taking on fans. He was taking on pretty much everybody on social media, and everybody was just my guy. Okay, so you got to see this for yourself. And you can go on the Facebook page over at facebook.com/the RCWR show. Pretty much the whole timeline, how it all pretty much had kicked off. It's all basically there, but the bullet points to give it to you guys. We basically saw Baron Corbin post this image of some keys in his hand, and he has a Ferrari. All right, so he treated himself to a new Ferrari, right? All right, he's been in the WWE developmental for a couple of years, and you fast forward and everything, and overall, it's pretty much been about 5, maybe going on 6 years since Baron Corbin has been with the WWE. Okay, all right, cool. Now, I've always been a firm believer in, hey, hard work, dedication, putting in the time, putting in the effort. Yeah, you know what? You can be in a position where you can enjoy the finer things in life. You can be in a position where, all right, you know what? I did this. I earned this. I deserve this. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But when you kind of come off as if you're trolling people, when you kind of come off as if maybe you're putting down some certain people, sometimes you put yourself in a position where you're going to get unwarranted press. And the intention may have not been in that direction where you wanted to go there. Maybe it was unintentional, but you do go there. So Baron Corbin, he puts out this tweet. And I would like to say, I would like to think that hindsight is 2020. I would like to believe that Baron Corbin knew exactly where he was going. I would like to believe that he knew what this was going to spark, but I don't think he imagined the magnitude in which he was going to be going at it with people on social media. So Baron Corbin has his hand out, has the Ferrari car keys of the Ferrari in his hand, and he has this tweet that reads, "How much do you make on your Twitter opinions again? Hashtag EOD." Okay. So that had a lot of people come out of the woodworks. And, the one that really jumped out at me in particular was the fact that Joey Numbers, and shout out to Joey. Joey was just going, I mean, count. I mean, my God, I'm dumbfounded right now just thinking about everything that had went down. So forgive me, guys. Forgive me for that brain fart there. But it was point counterpoint that Joey Numbers was doing to Baron Corbin. And you're used to some people, once in a blue moon, you're used to some celebrities. They may say something at you once and then they just keep it moving along, right? But Baron just kept going back and forth with Joey. And I tell you, it was just one of those things where I'm just kind of going, Baron, what the hell, man? So just to kind of recap for you guys. And oh my God. Okay, let's recap this. Okay, so Joey comes in. Joey says, I guess we can't all work in fields which overpay us to underperform. Most of us just have to go to work and be proficient to make a living. Man, how embarrassing for 99.9% of the world. You constantly need to justify yourself to strangers only proves your awareness of this too. So Baron comes right back to Joey. Oh, now this lets me know that Baron looked up his Twitter profile or whatever, because if you read Joey's profile, it says that he's a referee and all that, a wrestling referee in part. So Baron goes, oh, you're a wrestling referee that didn't make it. It all makes sense now. Look, I'm sure it wasn't your fault that you failed. You should blame your parent. They are the ones who didn't give you any talent. Ooh, okay. So then you have another guy, he comes in, never took Baron for a Ferrari fan, perhaps more muscle like a Mustang, Charger, or a Pontiac. Oh, well, to each their own. And Baron comes right back. I've got an old school 64 Lincoln too. All right, that's good. No problem, that's good. So then Joey comes back. Well, one of the reasons I slowed down was because I saw what a joke the business was becoming. The office overpays people who will never make them a dime and give them an unwarranted sense of self-importance. You are a perfect example of that. Baron comes right back. He goes, ha ha ha. If that's what you have to tell yourself, I mean, you would know with all the backyards you refereed in. Some guys got a hot dog when they deserved popcorn. He actually spelled they wrong. He just said THE. Look, I'm not faulting the guy. It happens to the best of us. We're typing up something and we go, all right, send. And then you go, that's not what I meant. It's supposed to be ass, not ads, ADS. It's supposed to be ass with the ASS. Like, what the hell? All right. So that, this just continues to go on. Okay, so you got one guy, he says, money and Ferrari don't make you a good wrestler. That's just proof you rich with no talent. Overall 77. And so Baron's like, did you just rate me? You clearly have never been in a relationship with a human. Now that one was actually pretty good. I gotta admit, that one was actually pretty good. Then he starts boasting about his 401k, saying, and I quote, trust me, my 401k and mutual funds already have more put away than you will make in a lifetime. My interest alone could pay your yearly salary. Yeah. Then he's talked about how his football career was a failure. Not like how Baron handled this. He said, please enlighten me on how it was a failure. I made it there and held on for almost 3 years. I was not even close to a star, but made it further than 97% of the people who play the game. What is it you do? Now, everybody knows that is a true fan of the NFL. The NFL stands for 1, 2, 3. Everybody say it. the Not For Long League. That's what it stands for. So the fact that Baron Corbin was able to go in there and he was able to make a decent, modest amount of money, okay? A decent, modest amount of money. I think that's great. All right. Because honestly, the typical shelf life of a football player is anywhere from 3 to possibly 5, 6 years is really pushing it, but it is a short window. So the fact that Baron Corbin was able to go in there about 3 years, do what he was able to do, injury, whatever it was, reason why he eventually got out of football, 3 years, there's not too many people that can brag about that. Some people never even got the opportunity. All right. They never even got drafted. So the fact that he was able to do that, I'm actually with Baron on that one. I actually am. So, let's pick it up with Joey again. So Joey comes back in. He says also WWE's idea of making it for a referee is they'll pay you for 6-7 years and cycle you out. If your idea of making it is being out on your ass in your 30s with a resume that includes kneeling and counting, then sure, that's making it. Baron comes right back. We have numerous refs with 15 years. So there goes your theory of 6-7. I mean, godly. I mean, this just pretty much now look. Oh my God. Am I a fan of the work of Baron Corbin? It's taken me months to warm up to Baron Corbin. I have been consistent. When I first saw him coming through the ranks in NXT, then going on over to SmackDown, I see potential in this guy. A little bit green, carries himself a certain way, carries a certain arrogance. I don't know. Maybe it's going to have to be a situation where at times Baron is going to have to be humbled if he's going to have to go through some hard times to really learn what it truly takes to be in the business. But there were definitely points in his career early on that just made me kind of take a step back and go, big green behind the ears, has a lot to learn. Let's see how he adapts. And for the most part, he has been able to adapt since being called upon for the main roster. All right. And I hope Baron finds this. I really hope he does, because you have some wrestlers that do make their rounds and they check out what certain people, what certain podcasts are saying about them. I should know. I have had my share of whether it's TNA, New Japan, ROH, or WWE stars. I have had my share. I just don't do like some people and go, how some people go on their Twitter bio and they say blocked by blah, blah. I don't do all that. I usually I keep it moving along. But you do have those that like to check out what's being said about them on social media. So I hope Baron Corbin finds this, and he finds this well, because he would be hearing from somebody that is a fan of his work. And Baron, I hope you listen to this in its entirety. And if you decide you want to block the RCWR show on social media, then that's your right, my friend. But I hope you listen to this in its entirety. Baron, pretend that you seem like a guy that loves a good drink. You seem like a beer guy, or maybe you're a hard whiskey man, whatever. You seem like the type that loves to have a good drink when you're done work. When you're done with work. I'm the same way. So just pretend for a second, Baron, you and me, we're at a bar, just like what we do on this show every Tuesday night. It's basically like you and me, the listeners. We all are like best friends catching up after, not really interacting with each other for a week. And we're catching up with one another, finding out what all's been going on in each other's lives. All right. That's this thing that we got going on, that we've had going on since 2011. So Baron, just pretend that you and me are at a bar right now. We're having a few drinks. My personal choice, I like my Dogfish Head 90-minute IPA. That's my favorite of choice, but I am known to do some Jack Daniels hard whiskey. All right. I would say to you, Baron, dude, what the hell, man? Why are you getting into it with all of these people on social media? What do you have to gain from this? Other than playing around with the fans a little bit, getting your jollies off, so to speak, right? Seriously, what do you have to gain from going back and forth with people on social media? In particular, look at your following on social media, Baron Corbin. I mean, just really stop and think about this now. You are seen by an average of almost 3 million a week on live TV, right? You get to tour the world. You get to see beautiful places. If you want to, you get to be in a position where you can have any woman you want, right? Anything your heart desires. All right. Twitter alone, Baron has over 350,000 followers. That's pretty good. That's pretty modest. And he's only following 315 people. So yeah, 8 out of 10, something comes his way when he goes over to the notifications, mentions. Yeah, he's probably going to see it without a shadow of doubt. So Baron, you got a decent following on social media on just one platform alone. Lord only knows what he's also doing on Facebook, Instagram, and I don't keep track of all that stuff. Well, I don't. I don't care for that type of stuff. To each its own, but I don't really care. You know, I pick one avenue, I stick with it. All right, you got to have some pretty interesting, riveting content on other social media platforms to make me go, well, I got to follow you on those platforms as well, right? So, Baron, you got the social media presence. You got about 3 million people that are checking you out on television every single week. You're touring the world. You get to hang out with cool people. You get to have any beautiful woman to a certain degree if you want because of your celebrity status. You're making decent money, right? You don't really have any commitments, any obligations. You can pretty much come and go as you please. Baron, why are you spending this time messing around with people on social media? In particular, why are you going back and forth with people that have their own respected podcasts, right? Podcasts are not in the wrestling business as well, but on a lower independent scale, part of the free agency scene or not. Why are you going into it with people on social media? Because Baron, one could make the impression one could walk away with the impression that Baron, you have some type of insecurity issues. Baron, you're really coming off as if in order to prove your self value, you have to show people whether they want to believe you or not. You have to show and prove to people, see, I'm a success. I'm a success. I'm doing what I need to do because I'm able to go out and I'm able to buy a Ferrari. I'm able to go out and I can go spend almost $800 on the new PlayStation 5 or the new Xbox ZYV or whatever the hell they're going to call it next, right? But I mean, that is nothing more than boosting. That, you know, it's like, okay, you're boosting, but to who? Towards what? Are you trying to attract what are you trying to attract? Exactly. That would be my first question to Baron, which is what exactly do you hope to gain from this? Because the way that it's looking, you know, it comes off. I'm not saying this is how Baron Corbin is, because I personally don't know the man. None of us personally know the man. The only thing we can do is comment off of what we see this man radiating, in this case off of social media, and it comes off as if this man is just, it comes off as if Baron Corbin is just trying to prove his self value. Now let me tell you something, we all can relate to this. Be real with yourselves. And longtime RCWR listeners, you know this about me. All right, be real with yourselves. How many of you all have been on a train? How many of you all have been on a bus? And everybody has the newest iPhone. Everybody has the newest Samsung phone. Everybody's got those new pair of Nikes or whatever, right? Now, 9 times out of 10, they probably got it for, with regards to the gadgets, they probably got it for some type of an arrangement. They're probably paying $30, $50 a month as part of their plan or whatever. They're probably doing something similar like that. Or maybe they priorities. Maybe they just decide, you know what? I need that. I want that. I must have that. I'm going to get that. Okay, so you got that. But like, dude, you still got to pay your rent. You still got to pay the mortgage. You still got to pay your car insurance. You still got to pay for the utilities to your house. Did you even think about any of those things? I mean, look, I'm not going to mention any names. I have a friend. Priorities. I have a friend that says, oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do. Money is so tight right now. I don't know where the next dollar is going to be coming from. I'm trying to figure out ways on how to improve myself, how to improve my life, how to make things better for my family. And man, I just don't know. I don't know where, well, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know where the next dollar is going to be coming from. It's really tight right now. Okay, well, you could try XYZ. Yeah, but you know, blah, 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 blah. Cut to the chase. I hear about all this hardship on how financially things are so rough. And they go out. I won't mention the game because it'll be a dead giveaway. But they buy this game that recently had came out, and I know it costs at least about $80. Priorities. Okay. So, you know, we got some people, yeah, that's great that you can go get that, but just because you're able to get that, boys and girls, it doesn't mean that, oh, hey, look, I was able to get this, so financially I'm good. Look at me, I'm the big boss. That doesn't mean anything. And don't even get me started on this whole 401k talk. It doesn't matter how much money. I've had enough 401k plans. I know that when it comes to 401k, not to bore you people to death, but when it comes to 401k, anybody that is 25 and up will tell you that your 401k plans, your employer will come to you and they'll basically say, hey, look, we got this 401k plan system. X amount of money can be put to the side. Now, in some cases, that 401k money, that's supposed to be your retirement money. Cut to the chase. That's supposed to be your retirement money. But there are situations where you can tap into that money if you need it. But the thing is, if you take X amount, you borrow from that 401k, the arrangements that you have to make to pay that money back, and you add on the interest and all that, it's pretty substantial. And if you are not rolling in money like that, it could take you anywhere from several months to a couple of years just to pay back what you borrowed from that 401k. Not to mention, if there was a situation where, with regards to that 401k, if you try to borrow all of that money, not borrow, but if you try to cash out, if you try to take all that money in one large sum, that just ain't going to be happening. It ain't happening. Because you know what's going to happen? You're first going to get penalized for your age. Because unless you are a certain age, if you're going in way before that age that you can have all that money, you're going to get penalized for that. So that's money that's being taken off the break. And then you've got taxes. IRS is going to have to find out about, hey, well, this person did have this amount, but they borrow blah, blah, blah. So now the IRS is involved as well. So basically, you could have some situations where by the time you get done taking some of that money from your 401k, let's say, hypothetically speaking, let's look in the chat here. Let's says Eddie. Eddie, you're just the first name I'm seeing in the chat, so don't take it personal. Let's say Eddie has a 401k plan. He's been working his job. And that's the other thing. The longer that you work your job, all right, and little pump, you can just get the hell out because you're honestly not even welcomed. You're on my channel. You're checking out my show. So if you don't like what I'm telling, you can, what's the word? EAD. You can eat a dick. That's what you can do, buddy. So bye. You're kicked out. Bye. Anyway, I love the trolls. I mean, if we're gonna have one of these nights where I'm gonna be dealing with trolls, oh, please bring it, because I can hang with the best of them. You trying to tell me to shut up on my own respected channel? Dude, eat a serious big old fat bowl of my black dick. Okay, seriously, I will go there. I am having fun tonight. I don't give a damn. I will go there. You clicked on my channel. You clicked on my link. You went out of your way to come see what the hell I'm talking about. You asking all these compound questions. What does the RCWR show stand for? Oh, you're such a troll, little pimp. Ow, 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 ow. Well, you can get the hell out. There, you're banned. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Anybody else want to play tonight? I am more than willing to play. Baron Corbin. Now, serious talk. Let's say Eddie in the chat has a 401k plan. And again, the longer you work at that job, I'm just giving you guys the logistics because truth be told, no diss, but a lot of you guys that are younger than 25, you don't know all this. You just go, I need a job. You don't go into all this. Well, do they offer a 401k? How much money do I get if I work X amount of years? How much money can I get them to take out of my paychecks that'll go towards my 401k? A lot of you guys ain't asking these questions, and you really should, because you're helping yourself. You're empowering and bettering yourself when you fast forward and go into your 30s. Idiots like Little Pump, or as I like to call them, Little Bitch in the chat, ain't gonna know about stuff like that. And DJ points it out beautifully. It's all about the benefits. Okay. So let's say Eddie, he's been working at his employer for about 5 years. All right. And every single paycheck, Eddie has his employer take out about 15%. 15% of his paycheck go towards his 401k plan. Now, let's say Eddie has been working at the rate of, that's the other thing you got to factor in. How much is Eddie getting paid X amount of money? How much is he getting paid per hour? So you got to take that into consideration. Now, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, within 6 years, Eddie has accumulated $500,000. I'm just being playful. Let's say he has $500K for his 401k plan. Now, let's say a death had happened. All right, knock on wood. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but let's just say there's a death in the family. He's got to pay for funeral arrangements, all that. He ain't got the money. He's got to borrow against his 401k. Now, his 401k, they will let him borrow up to a certain amount, especially if it's his first time borrowing against his 401k. And once he has a proven track record that not only can he pay back what he's borrowing, but he can pay it back in a timely manner that he had agreed to, then the next time he wants to do a takeout for his 401k, then the money, they'll give him a little bit of a higher limit, but not too much. Okay. So those are all the things that you're not going to be able to just take your whole 401k, depending on your age. That ain't happening. So this stuff that Baron Corbin is saying about the 401k and all that, basically, long story short, boys and girls, I'm calling it bullshit. Maybe it's legit. I don't personally care. I don't need for Baron Corbin to go on social media and show his statements. And it's like, who are you trying to prove? Seriously, my advice to Baron Corbin is plain and simple. If it was me and him kicking back, having a couple of drinks, I'd say, Baron, for the love of God, man, tune out what the hell these people are saying about you on social media. They don't like the fact that you're a little pudgy. Okay, so what? Baron, you're not having sex with them. Why should it matter to you? If it bothers you that much, man, you can easily take a conscious decision and go work out in the gym. Work on whatever body part you want to work on a couple of times a week. It's up to you. Baron, you don't like the fact that people are making fun of your hair? There's some really great products that's out there. There's Rogaine, all kinds of stuff that can help you. There's Bosley. There's all kind of stuff. You can go talk to Brett Michaels of Poison. Brett Michaels, he's been pushing extensions for years now. Looks good on him. Okay. Everything is a choice, Baron. There's no reason why you need to let other people influence you to the point you have to prove to them, well, no, you put it. No, it's not like that. It's not that way at all. No, it's this way. It would hit. No, no, no. See, look, I got money. No, don't. You got nothing to prove to anybody, Baron. What you need to be proven, what you need to be proving things to, Baron. Prove to yourself. Prove to the employer that put you in the position that they put you in. Prove to them and prove to themselves that their time, their energy, their money, and their patience has been properly invested in you, and go out there and do what you are ultimately paid to do, which is to be a performer. You don't see Kevin Owens rolling like this on social media. Kevin Owens has his fun with fans, but you don't see Kevin Owens going to these extremes and trying to prove his self-value, his self-appreciation to total strangers. You don't see Mojo Riley. You don't see Zack Ryder. You don't see any of these guys doing that. And then here's the other thing, and I have been saying it for years now, and longtime RCWR show listeners know what I'm getting ready to say. The most powerful ally, remember this goes out to any wrestler, anybody that is in the entertainment field. Automatically, you are a celebrity. If you are seen by millions every week, you are a celebrity. Dudes and dudettes, if you come across somebody on social media who you not feeling, you know what is the most powerful button at your disposal is? People in the chat, what's the most powerful button that even you have? Just like the celebrities. What's the powerful button? Somebody say it in the chat. Anybody in the chat, what's the powerful button that you have at your disposal if you come across somebody you not feeling? It is 1, 2, 3. It's the block button. That's all you got to do. Hell, you don't even have to block them. All you got to do is just hit mute. And Austin got it just in time. Block. All you got to do is hit mute and you'll never see their stuff again. If they pissing you off that bad, man, why even bother going back and forth? I'll never understand that about you guys. Let me tell you something. I'm keeping this real. Oh, yeah, we can go there. Delete. We can go there. Let me tell you something, man. Let me keep it real. Baron, I really hope this finds you well, my friend. Really. This is some real talk right here. Now, this is not Lee Sanders, the entertainer, talking to you. This is Lee Sanders, the human being, the man coming at you right now. You know, I've been at this, doing this show since 2011. My friend, you know how many times I have dealt with trolls on social media? You know how many times I have dealt with people that have called me a coon, that have called me a gorilla, that have called me not the gay word, but they've called me faggot. I've been called the N-word, not ending with the A. I'm talking about the N-word ending in the hard ER. I have been called some of the most despicable, heinous things that you could ever imagine on social media. And Baron, do you know what I do, brother? I don't kick back and I don't trade shots with those type of people on social media. My time, my patience, my energy, and my appreciation, and most importantly, my respect, it goes to my fan base. It goes to those that take the time out of their schedule every single week and they listen to my show, whether it's live or it's on the downloads, or I put out a question on social media. They interact with me and I'm interacting with them, or you know, I interact with those that are meeting all of those things, all of those merits that I just mentioned. I give them the time and day out of my schedule because they're doing it for me. I don't waste that time on people that are about nothing but negativity, because Baron, let me tell you something, brother. When it comes to negativity, all that does is pull you down. I'm at a point in my life, if it ain't positive, if it ain't of positive energy, I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want nothing to do with it. Okay? I have friends that are in the same position that they were in 10 years ago. And it's infuriating. And it's like, damn, I want to see these guys do better. Man, I'm not trying to be influenced by that. If it ain't of positivity, if it ain't putting a smile on my face, if it ain't making me money, I don't want nothing to do with it. And Baron, that needs to be your mentality going forward. And that needs to be the mentality for everybody in life. The keys to success in life is one, staying filled with positivity. Because the minute that you say, oh, I can't, you've already admitted defeat. And the minute that you let somebody else influence you and say, well, you can't do that, or that's silly, or that's stupid because XYZ, and you let that negativity go in your head, that's it. It's already game over. Don't prove to anybody else that ain't really a fan of you, a fan of your work. Why are you going back and forth? It's unnecessary. Take that time, take that energy, invest it in yourself, invest it in those that are legitimately doing it right. And like I said, and like the listeners are saying in the chat, most powerful button you got at your disposal is the block button. Now, if you don't use that mute or block button from here on out, then you know whose fault is that? Just saying. Food for thought. Let's continue on. Want to give a shout out to some of our sponsors for tonight's episode of the RCWR Show. Also want to recognize some of our Patreon members. We appreciate these guys. We love these guys tremendously, man, because these guys combined, they are the heartbeat of the RCWR Show. This kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier. You know, I mean, even if you ain't got money, but you just take the time out of your schedule and you check out the show, I appreciate you as well. But you know what? These sponsors, our Patreon members, combined, they are collectively the backbone of the RCWR Show. They are the heartbeat. They are what keeps the shows going. Because of them, shows like what you're checking out right now continues to be free. All right. So they help keep the bills paid, man. So we got to show them some love. Shout out to our Patreon members. Shout out to Courtney Summers. Courtney, I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting. I got my picture of Kool-Aid. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for this podcast to drop. Courtney Summers got a really great idea for a podcast. And I got to check in with her and see how that's going about. I wouldn't mind being a guest on this podcast. That's how good this concept she has going on. Of course, I got to brush up on some of the stuff that she's going to be covering, but I have a feeling there's some stuff that we're pretty much into. I think I know Courtney enough to kind of got an idea on the type of music she's into. I think I might be able to hang with her. Let's see who else we got. Shout out to Courtney Summers. She's going to be launching a podcast real soon. I'm excited for that. Shout out to also Patreon member Michael Wolf, John Davis, Anthony Missionary Thomas, Wrestling Soup. Love you, Mish. And shout out to Joe Raymond Jr. Those are our Patreon members. Shout out to you guys. Love you guys tremendously. And I'm trying to think. I put out something new on Patreon this past weekend. Yeah, I know we did a 1-2 punch. We had put out the Avengers Infinity War. That's a free-for-all. And then there was Wrestling with the Topics. Me and Tammy tackled the whole Bill Cosby fiasco for like the first time since the guilty verdict had came. That was fun. This week, I'm going to be giving you guys 2 episodes of 30 with Lee. One of them, I'm going to be doing a double feature. I'm going to be reviewing the new Batman Ninja that had came out on DVD earlier today. So I'm actually pretty excited for that. I've got my copy in the mail because I also decided I wanted to order Batman, The Return of the Caped Crusaders. Both of these are animated films, and they have received a lot of rave reviews. So I'm actually going to be doing a double feature for that this week. And then the audio's already recorded. I just got to upload it. Jessica Jones, I reviewed the 2nd season of it. So that's going to be a nice 1-2-3 punch for Patreon. But check out Patreon, man. I put up a lot of cool exclusive content for just $5 a month. You get access to 30 with Lee. If you're a movie buff, you like movies, I review all types of stuff. movie-wise. You get access to exclusive RCWR show content, all that for like $5 a month. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. So definitely check that out, man. And patreon.com/RCWR show. Want to recognize some of our other sponsors for tonight's episode. Shout out to A&B Swag. If you are in need of custom t-shirts, jewelries, beauty accessories, and more, contact my good friends right on at the website anbswag.com. That's A as in Apple, N as in Nancy, B as in boy, swag. www.ambswag.com. Really appreciate them. Also, shout out to our special sponsors, Destination Vacations Travel Agency. If you need help planning your next vacation, you don't have time to search for the best deals and locations, Destinations Vacations Travel Agency can help. Give them a call right now at 630-491-6864. One more time, that's area code 630-491-6864. Or you can visit their website at www.destinationvacationstravel.com. Once again, www.destinationvacationstravel.com. Sorry, I had to get some of that beer in there. Also, The Wonders of Monkey Mac, Lessons of Faith, Hope, and Joy, a new ebook/novel by Stephanie Harris. You parents out there with young kids, you might want to check this out. Listen up. The Wonders of Monkey Mac. It is a beloved children's comedy/adventure about real life challenges and the transforming power of faith, hope, and love. It tells the story of a young monkey named Mac that was raised as a human and then eventually is forced to live in a zoo under a new scientific experiment. Mac doesn't like living in the zoo and escapes every chance he gets thanks to some new friends. You can't make these names up, folks. Snack, Pack, Stack, and Early Earl. Try saying that 10 times fast. Mac learns a lot about life and making his own decisions to the point he's at a crossroads, which is, will he survive living like a human, or will he give in to his animal instincts and become wild like the other monkeys in the zoo? Find out, pick up your copy of The Wonders of Monkey Mac. That is available on Amazon.com. Also, my lotterywinningsecrets.com. Learn from a lottery winner that won the jackpot not one time, not two times, not three times, not four times, not even five times. I'm not going to go through that spill. 7 times he won the jackpot, 7 consecutive times. Has some great tips and advice. Head on over to my lotterywinningsecrets.com. Type in your email, put in your name. You'll watch a video. Then at that point, you decide if you want to continue on and maybe for a subscription fee, learn some more tips of the trade, advice. There is a subscription opt-out, as you will be followed up with an additional email basically asking you, how was your experience? Would you be interested in doing something on a regular basis? You have the option of opting out, but go check it out. You got nothing to lose, really, and a lot to gain. Also, shout out to our good friends over at BeckettJewelry.com. If you're in need of great jewelry gift ideas for him or her, you know you got Mother's Day. That's this Sunday. I'll always love my mama. Treat her right. Treat your mother right. Got that Mr. T song in my head now. Check out my good friends over at Beckett Jewelry. Low prices at great quality, family-owned and operated business. Based out in the U.S., they ship from the U.S. BeckettJewelry.com. Beckett Jewelry, love more, spend less. I have 2 more for you guys. Disseco Solutions, offering the best dissection kits for grades 9 through 12 students and teachers. Non-rust, stainless steel dissecting tools for instructional and training purposes. Get a 26-piece set for just $22. You can't beat that. Check it out, Amazon.com. And last but not least, shout out to our good friends over at the Midwest Ecom Conference. It's the 2018 event that's going to be happening in Minneapolis, Minnesota, July 20th through July 21st. If you're looking to become a successful eBay or Amazon seller, you want to work on a better income to provide for yourself, your family, want to have awesome flexible hours to the point you can work from home. Well, you can learn the tips, great tips, tricks of the trade from the experts on e-commerce at this fun 2-day event. For registration, tickets, more information, head on over to midwestecom.com. That's midwestecom.com. Check them out. And we'll get into a couple of more shout outs later on during the broadcast. So let's continue on with the show. I see some good questions in the chat. I will definitely get to those in a hot second. So let me talk about Raw and SmackDown. I'm just going to mash them up. There's only a couple of key points. I'm not going to go into the whole recap. That's so drawn out. I don't want to go through that. I only want to talk about key things I thought that was noteworthy. So, hey, no EJ for the half game show. I guess that's going to kind of... I like it when Ernie is there. Ernie Johnson is there. It's not the same when he's away. I guess he's calling baseball again or whatever. But no, I got a little sidetracked. So a couple of key things. From Raw this week, I love the fact that you had that great sit down. It was a one-on-one interview that Rene Young did with Bobby Lashley. I enjoyed that. And at least for 2, maybe almost 3 consecutive weeks for sure, since Bobby Lashley has been back with the company. One of the things that I had said was, my God, you look at the piss poor reactions that Bobby Lashley has been getting from the crowd. And I went on record. I said, you know what? 10 years is a long time to be away from the WWE. How are the fans supposed to even remember this guy, especially when Bobby Lashley is just going out there? And yeah, that's great that as veteran fans, we remember his work. We remember his first rodeo in the WWE. But unless WWE connects those dots, then the fans in attendance and the way it's going to come off from the fans in attendance to those of us watching on TV, we're going to feel indifferent about this guy. We're going to be like, why should I care about this guy? What's the big deal? And one of the things that I had said on this show repeatedly was, man, I wish WWE would do a better job and properly reintroducing Bobby Lashley to the WWE universe. I wish they would do a better job in showing some of his match highlights, talk about his accomplishments, do some great little video packages, things of that nature. And it seems like after the course of a couple of weeks and just trying to see how the fans would gauge him, it really seems as though WWE is trying to get back to basics. And I must say, what we got with Rene Young, it almost kind of reminded me of Rene Young's Unfiltered series on the WWE Network, which has just pretty much been on hiatus since. So I like the fact that she had this great one-on-one sit down with Bobby Lashley, really trying to tap into that personal side of him. And I'm left with the impression that sadly, this was just a one-off. And I really hope that WWE strongly reconsiders this sit down with Rene Young just being a one-off. I hope, fingers crossed, I pray that WWE continues on with this one-on-one series, because I personally feel that it's segments like this that will help these wrestlers connect more with the WWE fan base. And you know me, guys, I have been saying this, I have been very vocal about this for a couple of years now, since the WWE Network has been in existence now, which is you have these stars that are coming in. And if it's a situation where they're coming back to do work once again for the WWE and you've got hours of footage at your disposal, it makes all the sense in the world to take moments, not necessarily go overkill like with what Impact Wrestling does when they show Impact Wrestling / TNA moments from yesteryears. You get to see entire matches and all that while you're watching the new Impact Wrestling. No, I would like it more if they could just show a little bit of highlights while also trying to gauge that fan in such fashion where they go on over to the WWE network to see more of them. And also, I'd like to add, I think at least once a week, there should be something really cool that WWE should strongly consider doing, which is just pick a superstar and be like, hey, for this week from the vault, we're showing a nice compilation of, Kevin Owens' greatest moment so far in the WWE, or, hey, with Bobby Lashley back, relive some of his career highlights with this, on all week long. You can see on the WWE network on demand anytime. You could basically do it like that. Roll them out, if not every week, roll them out every other week or every 2 weeks. You could basically do it like that. That way it can kind of help the fans connect a little bit more with some of these talents that are on the roster. But Renee Young's Bobby Lashley interview, it almost kind of reminded me of the good old days with Jim Ross, and when he would be interviewing people and it would stretch out over the course of a couple of weeks. I'm still reminded of the infamous Mankind interview, and we all know how that one had pretty much ended. I want to see more of it. So I hope that this wasn't just a one-time deal with Bobby Lashley. I thought he handled himself very well and his back and forth with Renee. When you have a situation where it's that controlled and you have that talent that can just really speak freely, they can just recall from memory, be given softball questions like that and pretty much just grow from there, and their dialogue that they're putting out to the point you don't really have to do that many takes. That's how you have the fans connect more with the folks. So hopefully they'll definitely continue that on. But that was really good. Also, we saw a couple of Money in the Bank qualifying matches. And I got to tell you, the way it's looking right now, shaping up to be pretty good. Now, look, we know at one point we had a situation where closing out Raw, there was a triple threat match. It was Roman Reigns, Finn Balor. I need you all's help. Who was the third guy in that triple threat match? Finn Balor, Roman Reigns, missing somebody. I don't know who the third person was, but we saw Finn Balor, he qualified. And that came courtesy as a result of Jinder Mahal getting involved, who we did see earlier in the night. He had pretty much a squash match against Chad Gable. So you kind of wonder what's going on with Chad Gable, if maybe the future for Chad Gable, maybe it's reuniting with Jason Jordan, who knows? But you kind of got to have that in the back of your mind there. But, to see Finn Balor come out of there, and I know some people are kind of rejoicing right now because some people are going, oh man, awesome. Awesome. It was Sami Zayn. Thank you, Steven. Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, Finn Balor. They were in the triple threat, of which Finn Balor won. So as a result of that, he moves on to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view event for the men's side. As the way they're doing this, since it's a co-branded event, they're only going to take a couple of guys from Raw, a couple of guys from SmackDown, and those men are going to pretty much collide there and have the ladder match for the Money in the Bank briefcase. Winner of that, the spill. Anytime, any place, cash in that briefcase, get their world title shot. Doing the same thing for the women as well. So I'm sure there were a lot of fans that were rejoicing over the fact that, all right, no Roman Reigns, but make no mistake about it. It might not be today. I kind of got to quote that plumber from that infamous episode of Martin. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but it'll cost you. And sooner or later, we are going to see a situation come about where, like it or not, Roman Reigns, he will be involved in that title picture. He will. Now, look, come on. Process of elimination. Does Roman Reigns need Money in the Bank? No. Does he need to be involved in the Money in the? No, he does not. No, he doesn't. We know what he's got going on right now, storyline wise, is the controversy that came about with Brock Lesnar. So we know somehow everything is going to tie back up to Brock Lesnar, which, by the way, Interesting tidbit of news. The way it's looking right now, no future advertisements for Brock Lesnar. For those of you that's kind of going, what's going on with the Brock Lesnar tour? When is he going to be showing up on Monday Night Raw? No, nothing as it stands right now. You think maybe he's going to be doing something at Money in the Bank? Nope, not going to be doing anything. You think maybe, just maybe, Brock Lesnar is going to be doing something. What's the pay per view after? What is the pay per view after Money in the Bank? Whatever that next one is, you think maybe he's going to be doing something there? I mean, the way it's looking right now, no dates. There are no dates right now. So I'm quite sure the way WWE is looking at this situation with Money in the Bank, with Brock Lesnar, this is probably a situation where they just aren't sure how to get this situation resolved with Brock Lesnar. I mean, you have so many fans that have been very vocal and wanting to see Brock Lesnar in that title like be separated. They wanted it separated like WrestleMania. And the fact that this is still continuing to go on is just making a lot of fans scratch their heads and kind of go, what the hell is going on here? What do we got to do to catch a break? So I just think that's pretty interesting. And then, while we're also talking about Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey, MIA. You think about the press, all the media blitz that was done for Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey, she's going to be here every single week on Monday Night Raw. And nope. And now it's just to the point, no Ronda Rousey. I mean, can we at least have a situation where we the fans, we understand why she's not on the episode, maybe say due to media obligations or something of that nature. I see a lot of backpedaling that's going on, and I'm just not really a fan of that. Now, I do see that Ronda Rousey's colleagues, the other horsewomen, I see they got signed to developmental deals. So I'm very curious as far as how well that those girls are able to progress, because I'm under the impression that if their progression goes well, that maybe it could be a situation where maybe they'll be doing something at SummerSlam. I know some people are kind of thinking, horsewomen of the MMA taking on the horsewomen of the WWE. Maybe that could be more of a WrestleMania moment. I just have the weirdest feeling that depending on how well those two young girls do in developmental, it could be a situation where maybe by SummerSlam, if nothing happens there, for sure, some strong seeds get planted for a build-up leading into WrestleMania. I wouldn't put it past WWE if they're thinking that far ahead. And then, of course, we go over to the SmackDown side of things. We saw in the main event match, Daniel Bryan had took on Rusev for an opportunity to advance in the Money in the Bank match. And we saw what was really a driving factor was one, Aiden English really turning the tides there. Guys, I'm going to have to rely on you for a little bit because it didn't appear like it happened, but did Big Cass even show up? Because I was looking at this match and I was saying, well, if there was ever a time for Big Cass to make some type of an interference, this would be the match. This would be a hell of a way to stick it to Daniel Bryan. And I swear we didn't even see an appearance by Big Cass. Am I wrong, guys? Did Big Cass actually show up, or was it a case where no Big Cass, Austin? Okay, thank you. So I found that very, very weird. That was just, to me, odd booking right there, because it wasn't like Big Cass was severely injured in any type of way. I mean, we just saw him less than 48 hours ago at the Backlash event. I mean, as soon as Daniel Bryan applied to Yes Lock, I mean, it wasn't even a Vice Death Grip, and Big Cass is just already tapping out just so the damn hole could be let go. I was expecting some type of storyline continuity where Big Cass gets involved. So I thought it was rather weird that didn't play out the way it was supposed to play down. But I would suspect next week Big Cass is going to rub Daniel Bryan's shortcomings in his face on next week's SmackDown and pretty much set these two guys up again for another match that's probably going to be going down at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view event. But you kind of wonder now that what you got that happened with SmackDown last week, Lana kind of stirring the pot a little bit with Rusev. What's going to happen with Rusev and Aiden English now? You already have that seed, so you got to have that in the back of your mind going, okay, well, wait a minute now. So what's gonna happen? Is Rusev maybe gonna say to Aiden English, "Hey, look, I appreciate everything that you've been doing for me and my career. You've really revitalized my career, and I appreciate it. You and me, we've been able to build a really cool friendship, a really cool bond as a result of working together and everything. But I got to get focused, man. This is a really good, cool, big opportunity for me in my career and really taking it to that next level. And I really want to excel. I just think from here on out, I need to go at this solo. If I'm writing this, I would love to go in that direction and maybe a situation where Aiden English screws the hell out of Rusev. I mean, just fast forward a little bit. If it was me booking this, I go to that Money in the Bank ladder match. You have those closing moments. It looks as though Rusev climbs on top of that ladder. It is his for the taking. I can imagine the fans popping big time because it is about to truly be Rusev Day as he's climbing up that ladder and he's getting ready to reach for that Money in the Bank briefcase. Hell, the son of a bitch is in his hands. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the ladder begins to teeter. And then Rusev looks down. He sees that it's Aiden English. And he's like, what the hell? What are you doing, man? What are you doing? And Aiden English just rocks that bad boy whichever direction. And Rusev just goes crashing over the rope, maybe through some tables that were set up or whatever, or maybe through some ladders outside or whatever. But I could just see a really sick ass spot going down. There you go. Instant heat on Aiden English, right? The sympathetic Rusev saying to Lana, my God, you were right. What the hell? I try to let this guy down easy, but what the hell? What the hell, man? So, I mean, if you're going to go in the Rusev Aiden English feud, I think Money in the Bank, everything that I just laid out, not sure how many of you guys would agree with me, but if you're going to go in that direction, that seems to be the perfect time and the perfect place to go in that direction. But the way Money in the Bank is looking right now, let's just give you guys an update with that card right now as far as the participants that's in it right now. So for the men's side of things, right now you've got Braun Strowman, because Braun Strowman was also in a qualifying matchup. He had faced and defeated Kevin Owens. So you got Braun Strowman, he advanced. Finn Balor from the Triple Threat, he advanced. Miz was in a really great match on SmackDown tonight against Jeff Hardy. That was great to see the momentum continue on from what Miz had did at the Backlash event. This was a great match that he had against Jeff Hardy. I'm under the impression, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far. So you got Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Miz, Rusev, and we have at least 4 more slots remaining. So if you ask me who I'm liking right now, I don't really think Braun Strowman needs the Money in the Bank briefcase. I really don't. For me, I am eyeballing just right now until we see those other 4 slots filled. Right now, my money's on Miz. I told you guys, I said, man, 2018, it could be the year of the Miz. And I'm just really starting to get that impression. That is the strongest impression I'm getting right now. That would be a beautiful thing if it's the Miz. It really would. And then over on the women's side, we had Amber Moon, who was in a great matchup, a great triple threat matchup against Ruby Riott, who I've been dubbing as the Jessica Jones of the WWE. Also against Sasha Banks. It's nice to see the fans really start to come around with Ruby Riott, the fans in attendance, they're really coming around. Seems as though she has been winning fans over, and that's great. That is really great. And she's been really proving herself these past several weeks, couple of months even. So I'm really happy for Ruby Riott and this newfound interest and growth that has been coming as far as appreciation from the fans to her. Amber Moon, though, she's in this. Charlotte, she had defeated Peyton Royce. We already talked about how beautiful and lovely Peyton Royce looks. Guys, we did go there. Yeah, we did go there last week. But Mandy Rose, good God Almighty, that dream sequence, my God. You know, when she came out, I had the TV on mute, and when you had the whole dreamy sequence thing going on, I'm just bobbing my head and I'm just wow, 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 and I'm just having Motley Crue in my head. Girls, girls, girls. Girls, girls, girls. I just got that going on. And then, like, because I'm seeing the dream sequence, so I'm kind of like just looking at her and I'm going, okay, she's coming out to something. I'm thinking, okay, is it seductive? Like, is it stripper music? I'm just looking, I'm going, I like what I see, but damn, what's going on with the music? So I'm just taking a couple of more guesses. I'm like, maybe it's Motley Crue, girls, girls, girls. Yeah. No. Maybe she's coming out to freaking maybe she's coming out to Aerosmith's Sweet Emotions. Yeah. Or or maybe she's freaking coming out to what's another one that's always got the strippers going. I'll let you guys marinate on that one. But no, I'm just going, what the hell is she coming out here to? And then I finally unmute the volume and I see hear the music. I'm going, oh man, it's stripper music. What the hell? Because that's originally what I was thinking. I'm going, man, she's coming out like strippers music. What the hell? I'm going, nah, surely it's some type of a rock ballad joint or whatever. And no, she came out, you know, when I heard the music, I thought it was Lana's music, quite honestly. It sounded very similar to Lana's music. So it kind of had me going, I would kind of change that music a little bit. Me personally, I would change it a little bit. I don't really think she needs that kind of music. That needs to be reworked, because if I'm the opponent getting ready to face Mandy Rose, it's like, okay, is she coming out to actually wrestle me, or is she coming out to just strip in the middle of the ring? I'm not really sure what's going on here. So, but another beautifully stunning woman. I must say, yum, yum, yum. Give me some. That's what I got to make sure I keep it clean, because the little darling checks out the stream sometimes. So, you know, I got to make sure I don't end up sleeping on the sofa tonight or the next night or 2 nights from now. So I'm being a good boy. But can I just say, with regards to Mandy Rose, god damn, you know, between you and me, you know, it's like, Mandy, care for a spoon? Hey, I'm just saying, keep it to myself. I know I'm bad. Let's move it along. So other than that, yeah, that's pretty much how Money in the Bank is shaping up so far. So right now we got Amber Moon, we've got Charlotte. Seems like maybe another woman should have qualified tonight, but I think that was it for SmackDown. Yeah, guys, it was only Charlotte. Yeah, Cesaro and Xavier, they did have a good match tonight. They did have a good match. I will definitely give them that. Yeah, Becky Lynch, Mandy Rose. That was a damn good matchup. Let's see what else we got. What else can we talk about? So, yeah, you know, I'm still pretty confident, though, that 2018 is going to be the year of The Miz. Just the way it's looking right now. I got to see the rest of how that Money in the Bank card is looking, though. But, I mean, if you ask me for my early impressions right now, I'm going Miz, but just trying to think of how the rest of that card could be mapping out. It's up in the air because you never know. Roman Reigns could be given another opportunity, right? Maybe somehow Jinder Mahal is able to get in there. You got to also have that in the back of your mind. Jinder Mahal was talking to Kurt Angle in a backstage segment on Raw, saying, hey, if anybody deserves to be in the Money in the Bank, it should be me. Kurt Angle says to him, well, go out there, do your match against Chad Gable. Maybe I'll think about it. Maybe. So you got to wonder now, what else does Jinder Mahal, the modern day Maharaja, has to do to get in that Money in the Bank ladder match? So, but I would like to believe, I think Jinder Mahal is actually going to get in. I can see him actually getting in there. See, hey, I checked out the WWE Network earlier tonight, and I had watched the newest episode, Heads Up, third quarter. We got about 8 minutes left. Right now, Golden State Warriors are beating the Pelicans 74-58. Again, 74-58. So what is that? 68, 69, 70, 21, 22, 23. It's a 16-point lead. It's safe to say this is done. So looks like we got us another. Looks like it's going to be Cavs and Golden State, man. I don't know. Looks like it's going to be Cavs and Golden State. Keep you guys posted on that one. Table for Three. I was getting ready to say, I had watched the latest episode of Table for Three, and I gotta say, that was really good. The latest one that they had put out, it had Shane McMahon. Who else? Shane McMahon. I'm drawing a blank. Forgive me, guys. Shane McMahon, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle. And it was dubbed the Superstars Edition. And it was really good. They pretty much were reminiscing about some of their greatest moments. And Shane really showing the love to Kurt Angle and AJ Styles, saying, hey, what you guys had did back in 2008 in TNA, you know, one of the matches that I had watched, and I just was like, wow, my God, you guys are really killing each other. He pointed out a match, I want to say from 2008, Hardcore Justice. That was one of the main ones that Shane McMahon kept going back to, that he was saying to the guys, you know, really had enjoyed what you guys did there. And then the usual story as far as Kurt Angle, Shane McMahon, and their King of the Ring match. Nothing really new that had came from out of that. But it was a really, really great episode. I'm just trying to think if there was anything substantial to really like hook, line, and sink you into watching it. Like if there was anything new that I had learned from it. And not really. I mean, one thing that kind of made me go, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. But to anybody else, it might be a little bit boring. It was nice hearing how all of these men in the respective stages of their lives right now are juggling parenthood now that they've gotten older. And it was really nice hearing Shane McMahon talk about how, you know, he's getting ready to go out for his match against AJ Styles, when he had said to his kids, hey, do you want to, or actually, no, was it AJ Styles or was it against Undertaker? Because I want to say his kids came out with him twice. So I can't really remember which instance he was talking about. I would like to believe maybe it was the one with AJ. Can't really say for certain, but he was talking about how he was getting ready to go out, and he said to his kids, you guys want to go out with me? And the kids were like, yeah, sure, that'd be awesome. And so he brought them on out there, and he was talking about how he was just like a big old kid inside, just giddy and just in euphoria that he was able to share that moment with his kids, and that it was pretty awesome, pretty surreal. And saw a lot of love being shown to AJ Styles from Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle basically saying, one of the things that I really like about you, AJ, is the fact that you're not like some of these guys. Once you've been at it for as long as you have been at it, AJ, nobody can come up to you and, you know, okay, well, hey, look, do this instead of doing that. And you just basically go, I already know what I'm doing. You can't teach me anything new. Shut up. And Kurt Angle put AJ over in that aspect, saying the one thing that's really cool about you, AJ, is the fact that you want to continue to learn. You're willing to learn, and that's what makes you really overall a cool person. And yeah, just a lot of love that was just all in the air between those three guys. It was a really good episode. Probably what had a lot of people talking the most, though, was the fact that you had a lot of love being shown to TNA, because you saw more than once, and it wasn't a situation where it was steal shots. right? Still shot, still images. More than once you had a situation um where you had live footage from what Kurt Angle and AJ Styles did in some of their infamous matches from TNA, and that had a lot of people talking. That had a lot of people talking on social media about, oh my god, WWE Network TNA, and this wasn't the first time. Just a newsflash, this was not the first time that on the WWE Network there was some type of Impact Wrestling / TNA footage that was shown, and then at the end you could see stuff like what you just saw of the highlights from Impact Wrestling's network app and all that. I mean, it's just a situation right now. It should be no surprise. Well, this is a surprise to a lot of you guys, but it's not a surprise to me because I am part of the. I am part of a WWE council, and we get fillers and polls and all that basically for WWE's market research purposes. And I remember a couple of years back, one of the questions that they had asked was, hey, if would you be interested in seeing Impact Wrestling content on the WWE network? Because I remember that poll that they put out there, that survey that they had put out. They wanted to know if fans would be interested in it. They wanted to know if fans would be interested in ROH. There was a whole bunch of content that they had wanted to know if fans would be interested in checking out. And what the hell just happened here? No, that's really, really weird. Seemed like we lost the stream. That's weird. Hang on a second here, guys. Let me try that again. Okay. No, we're still live. Okay, that was really weird. Let me refresh that and let me see what the hell happened here. Hang on a second here, guys. Got to make sure you guys are on point here. All right, so we're still live on Spreaker, but what just happened on YouTube is my question. Let me see here. Hang on a second here, guys. I'm so sorry. All right, so you guys are getting lag. I'm not sure why you guys are getting lag. Hang on. So you guys are getting lag. Why are you guys getting lag? That's what I don't understand. Okay, it looks like it's back up now. So if you guys are still experiencing some type of lag, try refreshing your browser that you're checking it out. Okay. So there was lag. The stream didn't stop. That's the important thing I care about, is that the stream didn't stop. So the stream did stop. Okay. That's weird. Now it's okay. Okay. I don't know what the hell that was, guys. Forgive me. I paid my Verizon bill, so we're okay. No, let me pick it up. I think the last point I was making was about how I'm not excited. Not excited, but I'm not surprised about the whole Impact Wrestling reference, because I'm part of the WWE Fan Council, and once in a blue moon, WWE will send out fillers for market research purposes. And one of the surveys that they had put out there for us to answer was, would we be interested in seeing Impact Wrestling content / TNA content on the WWE network? And they were also talking about ROH, New Japan, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And so I'm not surprised that they have had some type of a relationship with Impact Wrestling to the point where they're now able to show a little bit of stuff from TNA days on the network. And quite honestly, I think it's going to continue to be a situation where they're going to continue to collaborate on stuff like that. So that really should not surprise you guys. But the fact that a lot of you guys are surprised at that, I just think, okay, cool. It's cool. But no, when you get a chance, check out Table for Three. I love Table for Three. It's a really great series. I wish the episodes would run a lot longer. 23, 25 minutes. It just is not enough. If I could get at least 45 minutes to an hour, I mean, there is just so much groundwork that could be covered. Seriously, shout out to Dana Warrior. It looks like Dana Warrior, she just recently launched her first episode of her new podcast. It is titled Total Warriors. And on this podcast, she is talking to just a big old who's who celebrity. She's definitely going to have that bridge to WWE talent, but she's basically going to be talking about wrestling. She's going to be talking about fitness. She's going to be talking about health. She's going to be talking about her family, what's going on in her personal life. So I expect big things to happen for her podcast. I'm really glad that she's doing this. WWE has just continued to do really good by Dana Warrior, or I should say Paul Levesque and Stephanie McMahon. They've continued to do nothing but good for Dana Warrior, and it's nice to see that. I would imagine that she still misses her husband every day. I would imagine that it's a situation one day at a time, and you never really are going to get over, someone that you truly love, and you never fell out of love with them, right? But it's just really nice to see her slowly but surely, you know, kind of rediscovering herself and staying upbeat. I mean, she is a very beautiful woman. I mean, that's going to be a very tough act, though, to follow. It's like everything that Ultimate Warrior represented, everything that he was trying to do, with his own life. And that's a tough act to follow. So kudos to the next man that eventually is able to come in there and maybe sweep Dana off her feet. I hope that the kids will be able to accept that transition. I mean, they seem like they would, but you'd be surprised. You would really be surprised. Well, see, when do I think EC3 will debut on the main roster? I saw this question a couple of times in the chat. Dude, I really don't know. And I'd hate to give the short answer, but I really don't know. I wish I did, but I really don't know. I mean, I think what we really should be more concerned with right now is seeing how WWE does with these latest stars that's part of the superstar shakeup. I think that's what we really need to see. And make no mistake about it, if I'm the WWE and I'm giving some really solid advice to the WWE, just a little bit of a brief history lesson. And I don't want to bore you guys, so let me go with the bullet points, right? Here's the bullet points. When EC3, then dubbed as Derek Bateman, was with the WWE the first rodeo round, he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And ultimately, that's what led to him being shown the door. Now, I do feel that with the big bulk of his career in TNA, which I was able to watch all of that from the minute that he debuted in TNA right on up through when he came on back to the WWE. I think right now this is all about proving to himself, first off, but then proving to those in the WWE, hey, look, you guys are giving me this opportunity and I'm not letting you guys down this go round. Hey, I have matured since I've been away from you guys. Yeah, I went out there and, you see everything that I've done. You hear about me and backstage, you seeing it, you're hearing it with your own eyes and ears, you're feeling it. This is all about proving himself all over again. So, as far as when do I think he's going to debut on the main roster? Not this year. Not this year. I would be very surprised if EC3 were to make his debut this year, but I'm just not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. I think if I'm giving any type of solid advice to the WWE, just based off what had went down in the past, take your time, really test EC3. And once he's passed all of those tests, he's really proven that he's matured and matured for the better. Then you go on ahead and give him that nod to go on the main roster. And when you do get ready to give him that nod for the main roster, I think he would do very well on the SmackDown side of things. That's just my 2 cents from a distance. That's my 2 cents from a distance, though. Let's see what else we got here. A couple of more topics I want to get into, then we'll get ready and we will call it a night. We're doing good on Showtime. I mean, I'm seeing once I get done editing the audio and a couple of more topics, it looks like going to be about maybe a 2 hour, 10-minute show. So that's actually not too bad. So we talked about Dana Warrior. Somebody wanted me to get into this. Let's fire off. We're going to do a fire off joint. All right, here's a couple of joints I'm going to fire off on real quick. Do a quick shoot around here. Bill Cosby stripped of 2 awards from the Kennedy Center. I don't know how many of you guys had heard about this. This kind of ties into what me and Tammy talked about in depth on Wrestling with the Topics. Check that out. It is a free edition that you can check out on Patreon. You don't need to sign up. You can actually just go to patreon.com/RCWR Show. And you can check it out. And if you want to be part of the discussion, get at me on social media. Let me know what you have thought about it and everything. But they basically had stripped him of the Mark Twain Award, and they stripped him of the Kennedy Center's Honor Awards, and then you had the Board of Governors for the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science. They voted to expel Bill Cosby and director Roman Polanski from its membership ranks. And if you don't know about Roman Polanski, he has had a warrant out for his arrest, if I remember it right, since like the 70s, because basically he did statutory rape on a minor, right? And this guy gets like all the press and all this other crap, and it's like, well, you ruined on a child predator for what the hell? So look, people are going to be mixed. There's no right or wrong answer to this. It's just amazing to see people that are just coming out of the woodworks defending Bill Cosby. I've taken heat because I'm a black man, and because I'm black, I'm supposed to be supporting my own people. Well, I do support my own people, but you know, race means nothing to me. A pizza is a piece of you know what, okay? Great, you donated a whole bunch of money, time, and all that. That's great. But guess what? If you do a despicable act to another human being, you know, you commit crimes, you got to pay. You got to pay, especially when there's undisputed evidence that points in that direction. You know, and Polanski, he's been on the run for like 40 years. He's supposed to be, you know, he's while awaiting sentencing for statutory rape from like 1977, 1978. So I mean, you just can't win. You just can't win. It's a touchy subject. It is a very, very touchy subject. And I see once again there is something going on with the YouTube stream. Are you guys still able to see me okay? Because it looks like once again the stream is it's not me. I can tell you that much. It's not me. I think it's a YouTube issue. I don't know what the hell is going on there. But continuing on, I gotta find out what's going on with the YouTube stream. Maybe they're getting ready to do some maintenance. Maybe that's why we're kind of running into some lagging issues. All right, so you have that one. Another thing that jumped out at me. I don't think I really got into this on the show last week, but out in McLean, Virginia, and if you go on my Facebook page, facebook.com/RCWR Show, you'll actually see the post that I shared. I got the video uploaded and everything. It's also on the Instagram page. Give me a follow while you're at it too. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the RCWR Show. There is, how many of you guys are familiar with the Charleys sub sandwich restaurant chain? How many of you guys are familiar with that? It's called Charleys. Well, out in McLean, Virginia, you had this black woman, pretty young black woman. I think her name was, it wasn't an African name. It seemed like her name was Nicole Summers or something of that nature. So she goes into a Charleys establishment on her lunch break. She gets her half of sub, and she gets a small little thing of French fries, right? Now, as she's putting in the order, the cashier says to her, well, what's your name? And keep in mind, the cashier broken English. But the cashier is trying to ask her for her name. She says, oh, my name is, and she's like, excuse me? And so the lady writes down her name. Well, you fast forward, and typically when you go to a restaurant establishment, you put in your order, you get your receipt. Normally, there's a number. They call your number, you get your food that way. Well, in this instance, instead of it being a number, it's basically they're going off of name. And when it was time for this woman to get her food, the name that she was called was Coon. So the first go round, she doesn't respond to it. Second go round, she responds. Why she responded, I have the slightest idea, but she responded to the name Coon. On her receipt was the word Coon. As you would imagine, she got in contact with the district manager for that respected Charleys. And her words, she said that the district manager was unsympathetic. So as a result of that, she had got in contact with NBC4. And NBC4 Washington, they did their own respected homework. They did their own digging around. And at this point, this girl, she decided, you know what, I'm gonna get me a lawyer. Cause I think yeah, this is retail discrimination. Apparently, that's the new terminology now. Racism discrimination. So the district manager and the regional manager? No, I think it's the district manager and that franchise manager for that respected Charlie's. They now have to go through sensitivity uh, training and their employees for that respected chain, that respected franchise. They have to do training as well. And I cringe. You got to see the report. You got to see the video. I just, my heart went out to that poor young girl. I'm going, oh my God. But then at the same time, it's like, man, you see what these two young black men had did with the Starbucks out in Philly, right? You see that they said, hey, look, we'll settle for $1 a piece, but we want the promise that at least $200,000-300,000 is going to go towards really good programs to encourage young entrepreneurship. You're going, all right, you guys rock, because you could have got yourselves a nice hefty payday, but you went the classy route. Sometimes I just see some of these people that are running around and they're putting these lawsuits out there. And I guess you really never really know a person until, I guess, when you're pressed for money, you tend to do desperate things. When you see there's a way for you to get a big payday, depending on what's going on with your financial status, if there's a way for you to take that shortcut and exploit it, you're going to take it. And, I just, I hope this woman just somehow gets inspired by the people, in particular, those two black men out in Philly that settled for $1 a piece. And I just really hope she, if anything, uses this opportunity to try to empower and enrich in the lives of many, like the two guys in Philly are trying to do. Uh, you know, Despicable customer service, no doubt about that. Nobody should be treated like that. I don't care who you are. And for this employee to say, or at least hearsay, the employee's English is very broken, and oh, she had no idea that that was a derogatory name, or safe to say that by all accounts, this was a Hispanic person, just by some of the information that's been put out there, which is mind-boggling, because I'm not sure how many of y'all can back me up, but it's mind-boggling because usually blacks and Hispanics get along together. Of all the races, blacks and Hispanics, they really interact with each other. I mean, right down to the point, a lot of the interracial dating relationships that's out there, blacks, Hispanics, if not blacks and whites, for sure, blacks and Hispanics. So it's kind of sad and unfortunate that you have a situation occur where you have a Hispanic that is acting this way towards a black person. And let's go a step further, guys. Usually, history has shown that, if anybody knows the struggles, the discrimination level, and all of that, if anybody can relate to what blacks continue to go through to this very day, Hispanics. So I just think that's kind of mind boggling as fuck that a Hispanic person would write and say that. to a person that's African American, that slash black. Mind boggling, just mind boggling. Corey Graves is supposedly in hot water over some post comments with regards to the greatest Royal Rumble. Basically, an Instagram post he put out right after they came back overseas, and he pretty much had said, I'm paraphrasing, man, no matter how bad you think you got it, at least our women have rights, or something of that nature. And you've got all these dirt sheet websites that are saying, oh, Baron Corbin, no, he's in the doghouse. Oh, he's got mad heat with the WWE. Let me tell you something. I'm not believing that, because if Corey Graves really had heat with the WWE, he wouldn't be doing the Raw. He wouldn't be doing the SmackDown job right now. He'd have been pulled for a couple of weeks and the point would have been made. No, 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 no. I truly believe, you don't think that from Vince McMahon and crew, you don't think from Stephanie McMahon, you don't think from, hell, maybe even a Michael P.S. Hayes, Road Dogg, you don't think all of those guys are going, man, this sucks that we have to do this crap. This sucks. We got to go perform in this country where they treat women this way, where you really can't be as outspoken as you'd like to be. This totally freaking sucks. You don't think that there's a lot of people that were saying that as they were making their way to Saudi Arabia? You don't think that quietly Corey Graves was giving high fives and all that for saying that? No, the way that he said it and how he said it, and the fact that he pretty much was doing that and posting that on his own personal time and all that, he's going to go unscathed. Let me tell you what the worst case scenario is going to be, depending on how well the Saudi Arabian governments and all that, especially the council and all that, everybody involved in helping bring the WWE out there and all that to Saudi Arabia. Let me tell you something. If it connects to the point that, whoa, someone from WWE said that? Oh, well, if that's how they're going to act, then this is the worst case scenario. Next time WWE comes to Saudi Arabia, that Corey Graves, we remember what he posted on social media. We don't want him. We don't even want him out here. He's not welcomed. And you think Corey Graves is going to be going, oh, boo-hoo? No, Corey Graves is going, okay, great. I give me an extra couple of days of rest. I'm cool. I'm cool. Bye. Okay, so he's going to be all right. But I strongly do not believe that Corey Graves is in any type of hot water right now. I mean, come on. We ain't see it. We ain't see nothing go down. And he is good. He ain't going nowhere. That is the next Michael Cole's successor. So you guys need to stop with that. Hey, damn dirt sheets putting out this silly ass little news. Last piece of news I want to get into. Kanye West. I didn't get a chance to talk about it last week. Y'all already know what's going on with Kanye. Stuff he said. Slavery. This is the point I'm going to make. Short, sweet, simple. Anybody remember the very talented and the very gifted Donny Hathaway? Do you all remember what Donny Hathaway passed away from? Donny Hathaway was struggling tremendously with paranoia. He was delusional, schizophrenic. There was medication that he was supposed to be on. When he took his medicine, he had good days. When he did not take his medicine, a lot of bad days. And you know how that resulted? That resulted in him taking his life. And if I'm not mistaken, he jumped from the balcony. He jumped from the ex's house hotel. The point I'm making is I see how very talented, how gifted of an artist Kanye West is. And a lot of what he has been saying over the years, I can't help but think about Donny Hathaway. And I would not be surprised at this point if in a couple of years you tell me, oh, Kanye West is dead. Because Kanye West just really seems that fragile mentally. I'm no fucking Dr. Phil, okay? I'm no doctor. I'm no medical expert. I can only give you my 2 cents from a distance. Am I legitimately concerned about the man? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And when you do your history, you learn about his mom and what all she was about. All the people that jumped out there and basically are saying, man, if his mom was still alive, my God, she would be so disappointed. She would be so mad. They really do mean that, especially those that actually interacted with his mom for so many years. So I'm really concerned about the mental health of Kanye West. And for those of you that don't know anything about Donny Hathaway, do yourselves a favor, especially if you appreciate great R&B music, you appreciate great R&B soul music from the 70s. You would love you some Donny Hathaway. His daughter Layla, she's doing a phenomenal job as well, picking up right where her dad left off. But do yourselves a favor, check out, it's a really great series. I love it. It's on TV1. It's called Unsung. And it's kind of like if you ever watched VH1 Storytellers or VH1 Behind the Music, it's basically like that, but they try to show a lot of love to the black artists. And Donny Hathaway, they did do an episode of him. You can catch it on demand, I believe, also via the TV1 app. And when you watch the story of Donny Hathaway, you will definitely be able to connect the dots and see and be like, whoa, leave the Donny Hathaway, Kanye, holy crap. That's the direction that I'm going. That's the direction that I'm going. Donny Hathaway, Kanye West, I mean, almost mirror image as far as just exceptionally talented geniuses. Anything that Donny Hathaway touched in his lifetime, it was freaking gold. It was a hit. Kanye West, the same damn thing. And when Donnie wasn't taking his meds, you knew about it. People didn't want to work with him. It got to the point because of his mental health, it cost him some really good opportunities, some really good business opportunities. So, I can't help but look at Kanye West and kind of go, and I pray I'm wrong, but just, you're talking to somebody that appreciates music from all eras. And when this initially went down, I meant to talk about it here on the show last week, but I got sidetracked because if you notice on the downloads, the way it was titled, it had Kanye West in the heading. But I had decided at the last minute, you know what, I was going to talk about it. I was actually going to save it for a Patreon show, but I didn't get a chance to talk about it because me and Tammy, I forgot. I was like, oh, damn, it's like, I got to do a pay-per-view. But go out of your way. I highly, highly would encourage you. Check out Unsung. Just type Unsung Donny Hathaway. You might be able to find it online on YouTube or Daily Motion, but you can definitely check it out for free via the TV1 app. You may even be able to check it out on the TV1 website and pull it up that way, but you'll definitely see and appreciate what the hell I'm talking about. And Childish Gambino. Yeah, I saw that from SNL, right? Ooh, yeah, dude, that's the star of Atlanta. That was a pretty powerful video. It was a lot to process. I appreciated it, but at the same time, I just kind of feel as though, with regards to Saturday Night Live, and I think a lot of you guys would agree with me from this standpoint, it's gotten lost in translation, sadly. Saturday Night Live. I remember a time, and I'm kind of putting my age out there because I'm a couple of years shy from 40. I remember a time when if you wanted a hearty laugh, you wanted to poke fun at yourself, other people, what's happening in the world, what's happening in the world of politics, but mainly you just wanted a good laugh. You didn't really want to think too much, too heavily on politics. I remember a time when Saturday Night Live uh used to be that way. Oh, not the vid from Saturday Night Live. There is a video. Well, hang on a second. Hang on a second. No, but while I'm talking about Saturday Night Live, you guys know the what I'm talking about. Um, there used to be a time where SNL used to be the escape. Yeah, no, man, no, Donald Glover. Yeah, that actually had premiered on. I thought Saturday Night Live. Am I understanding it wrong? It did not premiere on Saturday Night Live because I know Donald Glover had performed on SNL. And I was under the impression that the music video had showed up during that SNL skit. But regardless, the music video that Donald Glover had did, yeah, I was under the impression that it was on SNL. So that's the only reason why I'm talking about it. It was a powerful video, but it still ties into SNL. Let me tackle it two ways. The video, powerful, very powerful, left me speechless. I love this country. It's a very beautiful country, which is the right to speak and not face any type of repercussions as far as getting a beheading, going to jail, freedom to express yourself. That's the most beautiful thing that we have here in this country. And for Donald Glover to go creatively in that direction, yeah, it kind of felt like some common the rap artist. It kind of felt like some common stuff. It kind of almost felt like some Public Enemy stuff, and I digged it. I really really had loved it. And I tell you what, this latest album that he's putting the final touches on, supposedly this is going to be Donald Glover's last album. I tell you what, if that's really true, they're losing a great voice in the music industry. They really, really are. I would say, I like to believe in never say never. But if he's truly going to be done after he drops out this new album, looks like he's going to be going out on a really good, strong note. I don't usually check out stuff like that, but I definitely had looked at it over the weekend, and I kind of was like, hot damn, that's pretty freaking intense. But no, going back to SNL, I just remember a time where you wanted a hearty laugh. SNL, that was the place to go to, and now it just seems so one dimensional. It just seems like now all the joking is just dedicated towards one party, and I'm off that though. I'm off that. Let me see. Anything else I need to get into on tonight's episode? Nope. So let me jump right into the chat here. And let me see if there's some stuff I need to tackle before we get ready to shut it down here. Joker. I'm Hispanic, and I noticed there is a new generation of Hispanics that think of themselves as 100% Americans. They don't speak Spanish at all. They can, but they refuse to speak the Spanish language because they think they are superior because they are 100% Americans. Really? Interesting. Apologize for the lag there. I see a lot of stuff about the streaming lag. Let's see what else we got here. The modern day See, I did have it the first. The modern day Maharaja. Gotta really let it roll. Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think after Money in the Bank is Extreme Rules, and it doesn't look like Brock is doing anything. So you can't help but wonder, well, is Brock going to do anything? Maybe at SummerSlam? What the hell? It's a long time though. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, you like that, huh? You like how we got him out of there, right? Oh Lord. Really? You guys are putting Baron Corbin in the same breath as No Way Jose? Oh God, come on now, Baron. If I was an indie promoter and I'm looking at Baron Corbin and I'm going Baron Corbin hands down. Come on. I know you guys are like, come on, come on. Yes, exotic mods, cabs, they swept the hell out of those baby dinosaurs. How about that? How about that? What about that? My God. 5 minutes left. 105 to 90. Safe to say Golden State got this. They're still in the lead, man. 105 to 90. See, shout out to Gino, shout out to Austin, shout out to Exotic Mod, shout out to Anthony, shout out to Eddie, shout out to Lil Bracy, shout out to K. How you pronounce this, man? K Healy. You know who you are. You said cheers, bouncing the prick, good choice of IPA, love dogfish. Awesome. Said Lil Bracy. Shout out to Joker. Shout out to Steven. Who else we got in here? Shout out to GJ. DJ Subia. Who else we got in here? Shout out to Tony. Yeah, and shout out to that little troll, Lil Plump. Lil Plump, Lil Pump, Pump Your Brakes, whatever the hell his little name is. Lil Pump Handles. Shout out to Catherine. Who else did we miss anybody else? I don't think we really did. Hang on. Let me see here. I think I missed one other person. Hang on. Just checking out the stream one more time. I'm looking on Facebook here. Bear with me a second here, guys. Yeah, shout out to Corey. Appreciate Corey. Who else we got here? The Facebook stream is a lot better. I like the Facebook stream. It's more clearer, but the YouTube stream is good too. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna shut this down, man. We did good tonight. This was actually a pretty good show. Hope you guys had a lot of fun. I definitely had a lot of fun doing this show. So your next edition is going to be coming at you guys on, look at the calendar here, Tuesday, May 15th. I'll be coming on 10 p.m. Eastern as soon as SmackDown goes off the air. For all the very latest, be kind, rewind, check out previous episodes of the RCWR show you may have missed on the downloads, iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, the RCWR Show app available for free, Google Play Store. Use the keywords the RCWR Show. Enjoy the episode. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, like, share, keep the comments coming. If you're checking this out via Spreaker, via the show app, click on the heart, like icon. It really helps out tremendously. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. That's how I'm pretty much staying connected to you guys in between the shows. Use the keywords the RCWR Show. Those of you looking for the audio of this, give me about 35 minutes at most. I'll have this pretty much be ready to go. And Spreaker, Spotify, and the RCWR Show app, they'll have first dibs, and the audio will trickle on down to the other platforms in the wee hours of the night. So as you're on your way to school, work in the morning, you guys will definitely have it by then. But until next go round, wishing all of you all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. Happy Mother's Day in advance to all of you beautiful, sweet moms out there. You guys make sure you show your mom a awesome weekend. All right, guys, y'all take care. Adios.